Everyone, now today we're going to cover lists and methods you can operate on them. So a bit like that video when we were talking about strings and string methods. Okay, so let's hop onto our Jupyter notebook. Okay, so I've opened up my Jupyter notebook, and first we're going to go with lists, as we need to know what lists are before we operate the methods. Okay, so I'm going to define a list. Let's call it my list. Equals, and when you define a list, it will be a bit like a normal list, except you need to put square brackets around it. So I'll put a set of square brackets, and I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can kind of see the differences between a normal list and a Python list, except we don't store it in a variable, okay? So you can't only do lists as numbers. You can put different strings in a list as well. So I can say my list 1, and then I can put equal to hello, and then hi. Okay? So hello and hi. Those are just going to be my list elements. And there we go. We've got our two beautiful lists. Now, as you can probably see, you can store a list as a variable, and yeah, you can store a list as a variable, and it doesn't really matter what you put in it. So for example, you could put like list, sorry, you can't put list as one, so list 1 equals to, you can put list 1 equals to hello and 4, 5, so like that. And you can just mix up all the elements you want, as long as your list name you can't, as long as for your list name you don't put list, because list is a keyword in Python, so it won't accept it if you put that as a variable. So let me show you what the error will be like. List equals 1, 2. Okay, and then we define list. There we go, it gives 1, 2. But I would just prefer to use a random other name, because if it comes in green, it means it's a keyword, and this would come in, and this would cause a lot of problems when you're doing a much bigger project. Okay, so just delete these cells. And another thing you can do with lists is you can concatenate them, like how you can concatenate strings. So you can put my list combined equals my list 1 plus my list, yeah? So now we can still access my list and my list 1 even if we combine them, okay? So let's type in list combined. There you go, you've got hello, hi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So you can do this, okay? Now, since we know what a list is now, we can go on to learning the methods, okay? So see you back again. Okay, so we're on list methods now, and I kept my 2 variables because we can reuse them again. And I took away the list combined one. And now what we're going to do is go on to list methods, okay? So the first list method is called append, okay? And append means add in Python, okay? So append in Python means adding. So let me show you how to do this. My list dot append, and then you put brackets. So what element do I want to append to my list? Now it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'll just append 6. And it didn't return anything because I just appended it. So I'll have to type in my list again. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It automatically adds the comma behind the 5. And there we go. Our list is a bit more organized as well. There's spaces after commas and all of that. So Python automatically does that for us. Yeah? So you can also append a list to a list, but it won't concatenate them like we saw before. So let me show you what it will look like. My list.append, and let's append my list 1. Okay? And then we type in my list. And there we go. We've got a list inside a list, and the list inside it is an element. So this will count as one element. This will count as one element. This will count as one. This will count as one, and so on, like that. Okay, so there's also another method like append, and you can do the same methods, but I wouldn't advise doing that. But let's I'll show you anyway. So my list dot insert. So instead of just appending it to a random place, we're going to insert it to a certain index. Because when we append anything to our list, it just appends to the back. So my list.insert, and we always need to put our index first. We don't need to put in brackets, we just need to put it normally. So at index 0, I want 0. So, and then type in my list, and there we go. We've got 0 this time, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello and hi. Okay, so our list is pretty good right now. You can insert a list inside of a list as well. So we can insert my list 1 again. So my list dot insert. So let's do this at index 0 again. Let's see if this produces an error or not, because I'm not sure. So my list.insert, and then my list 1, and then we can type in my list, and there we go. It actually worked. So you can do this. You can add lists how many times you want. So I could have like 100 of these lists, okay? And I can insert them at different places. That's what's so good about these list methods. Okay, so let's go on to another method that is kind of related to append and insert, and it's called extend. So what it does, it just produces the same result as extend. What it does, it produces the same result that we got when we concatenated the strings. So except it's a method. My list dot extend. So this is how you write it. Brackets. Let's extend another list. You can only extend another list because if this method was there would be no use for this method because that would already be the append method. Okay, so you can only extend lists, but this time it doesn't have a list inside of a list. So let me show you what it's going to be like. So my list.extend, and I want to extend my list 1, and then you'll type in my list, and there we go. We've got hello, hi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hi. But this time, these strings have come in as actual elements. So they haven't come in as a list inside a list or anything like that. They've come inside as an actual element like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So these are all the methods that are related to adding stuff to your lists. Now let's go on to how to remove stuff from your list. Okay? So the first method, it's going to be pretty obvious. It's called remove. Okay? So let me just create a new list. Let's type in list 1 equals 5, 6, 9, 2, 7. There we go, you've got a random list. So list 1 equals 56927. Okay. And now I want to remove an element from this list. So what I want to remove is I want to remove the number 5. Let's remove the number 5. So let's type in list 1 dot remove 5. There we go. And then we can type in list 1 again. And there we go. You've got 6927. Okay. There is also another method. It's a bit like remove, except it just removes the last letter and returns it to you when you call the function. So let's type in list1 dot pop. This is what the method is called. And there you go. This is like the only method that returns something. And it popped off the last letter. That's why it's called pop. Okay? So now if we type in list1, we've only got 6, 9, and 2. Okay? So now let's go on to our last method that's related to taking away elements. And this one is called clear. And I'm sure you guessed what it does. It clears all the elements in a list. So let's clear our list. My list dot clear. You don't need to put anything inside the brackets. And then you type in my list, just bringing back. Okay, so we cleared our list. Let's clear list 1 then. List1 dot clear. And then, whoops, we need to put our brackets. And then we type in list 1. There we go. Okay, so we've got 2 clear lists. Let's add to my list again. So my list equals 8, 9, 2, 3, 8, 9, 23, 5, 7, 1. Okay, so this is another random list. Now let's let list 1 be a string list, okay? So we'll say hello, greetings, hi, and then hello there. And these are our nice greeting strings. Okay, so we've got our 2 lists. And now let's go into a method that is called reverse, okay? So what it does, it reverses our list. It works on strings as well as number lists. But I would prefer using it on number lists. Okay, so let's reverse both lists. My list dot reverse, and then type in my list. And there we go. Instead of 8, 9, 23, 5, 7, and 1, we've got 1, 7, 5, 23, 9, and 8. Notice that our numbers are the other way around. So reverse means just turn the list around, kind of, and put the first numbers last and the last numbers first. Now there's also a method that we won't really connected, but it comes in the kind of same category. I don't know why, but it just does. And it's called sort. So you can't really do it on strings, but it works a lot on numbers. So what we want to type in is my list dot sort, and then my list. And there we go. We've got our numbers sorted. So they sort it from highest to lowest. So you can't do it like lowest to highest. It just won't work like that. And also, there is a few more methods that are kind of associated with the sort method. So my list dot min, so minimum. Oops, let me just fix this. Okay, so there is no method called min. I just got confused a bit. Instead it's called len. Okay, so min and len are kind of similar. And len means how many elements there are in a list. So you can say my list dot len. You need to print it. Sorry, print. You need to put print len and then my list. And there we go, it gives 6 because there are 6 elements in my list. Okay, so let's define the min. Let's define the min function again. I just remembered how to do it. So let's just put min, similar to len. So min, the format is similar to len. So let's put min and then my list. And there we go. It gave us the minimum value, which is 1. And then we can type in max my list, and there we go, it gives us 23, which is the highest value. Okay, so those are a few more methods. There is also another method called copy, and this method gives an exact copy of your list. So I think you go my list dot copy, and it gives us a copy. So we can say copy equals my list.copy, and then we can type in copy. So if we change copy, nothing will happen to my list, and if we change my list, nothing will happen to copy. So let's change my list. So my list dot append, and we'll just add in 6 again, and then we type in my list. We've got 6 again, and then we can type in copy, and it isn't the same. So it doesn't affect. You just make an exact copy. Now there is also a method a bit like the a bit like the len function we just defined right now, but except it's called count, and it counts how many times an element appears in a list. So you can type in Python. I mean, not Python, sorry, what am I thinking? My list dot count 6, and it says it occurs 1 time. So let's append 6 again. Append, and then we can type in my list dot count 6, and there we go. This time it appeared 2 times because 6 is in my list twice. See, we got 6 and 6. So these are all the main methods now. If you want to find any more methods, you can type in list methods, and there's this nice website called Programmers, and it's got loads of nice methods, and it's a bit clearer than the Python website. And here we go, we've got these nice methods over here. So you've got zip, sum, all of these methods you can use. But I won't be teaching them right now because they are going to take way too long. So I guess that's it. So thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe, and if you have any doubts or any ways to improve my videos, then please comment down below. Bye.